Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel RF Design Basics. So in last video we have seen that for a general transistor and feedback network we have totally 4 nodes V1, V2, V3 and V4, and we have studied about the various elements of feedback network, the input and output admittance, transconductance, and finally we have found the Kirchhoff's voltage law in matrix form, where the multiplication of this will be 0. Now we are going to take a particular case, as we have discussed previously, that for common emitter configuration, since emitter is connected to node V2, if we make V2 equal to 0, this configuration will become common emitter configuration. Or if we make V2 0 for FET, this will be also called as common source configuration. So we have to put V2 equal to 0 for that. Apart from that, the V4 and V3 should be connected for having the feedback network. So feedback network was already there, but the connection to the feedback network from the output of the transistor should be there. So when we connect this, it will become V3 equal to V4, and also if we take BJT, G0, that is the output admittance, is approximately 0. So by taking those things into consideration, we are going to simplify the matrix. So first consideration we are going to take is V2 equal to 0. Second one is G0 equal to 0. And third one is V3 equal to V4. So we are going to modify this matrix by assuming V2 equal to 0. If V2 is 0, the second row and second column will be eliminated. If V3 and V4 both are same, then third and fourth row will be added together. Also, if G0 is 0, this column will have the 0 value, so this will be also removed. So our simplified version will be, let us assume that V3 equal to V4, which is V, that is output voltage. Since we are removing the second row and second column because of V2 equal to 0, we will have only the first row, and in first row we have this one and this one, because second column should be removed. So we can write this as Y1 plus Y3 plus Gi, and then minus Y3. In third row we are going to have combination of these two for the first term, because multiplication of this with this term and multiplication of this with this term is going to be same. So we can add it together. For V1 it will be Gm minus Y3. So we can write Gm minus Y3. Second column is already removed. In third column we are going to multiply Y3 plus Y2 into V3 and 0 into V4. So we have just Y3 plus Y2. And if we take the fourth one, G0 is already 0. So if you multiply with 0, 0, we don't have any term. And here we have V1 and V equal to 0. As we know that for oscillation condition, this V1 and B both should be non-zero. And to have this non-zero value, the determinant of this matrix must be equal to 0. So let us write the determinant of this matrix. That means y1 plus y3 plus gi minus y3, gm minus y3, y3 plus y2 should be equal to 0. Now let us consider the value of y1, y2, y3, gi and gm. As we know that gi and gm are real and y1, y2 and y3 are purely imaginary as it is a reactance. So in place of y1 we can write jb1, which is the susceptance, then y2 as jb2 and y3 as jb3, where b1, b2 and b3 are susceptance of the reactive element. And replace this equation with these values, we will get jb1 plus jb3 plus gi minus jb3, gm minus jb3, and here we have jb2 plus jb3 equal to 0. Now let us take the determinant of this. So we are going to multiply these terms. Here gi plus j b1 plus b3 multiplied with j b2 plus b3 minus, and this minus minus plus we can write plus jb3 into gm minus jb3 equal to 0. Here let us take the real part separate and the imaginary part separate and then make it 0. So for the real part, the multiplication of this and this will give the real part. Also the multiplication of these two will give us the real part. So the multiplication of these two will be j into j square, so it is minus b1 plus b3 into b2 plus b3. Here j into minus j is plus 1, so you can write plus b3 square equal to 0. So first we will solve this, then we will find for the imaginary part. It is equal to minus b1 b2 minus b1 b3 minus b2 b3 minus b3 square plus b3 square equal to 0. So this cancelled. So we can write b1 b2 plus b2 b3 plus b3 b1 equal to 0. And from here, by dividing b1 b2 b3 in both the side, we can get 1 by b1 plus 1 by b2 plus 1 by b3 equal to 0. So this is our first equation which we have got from the real part comparison with 0. Similarly, we can find the second equation by taking the imaginary part, and imaginary part we can find it from gi multiplication with this and gm multiplication with this. So let's write that. gi into b2 plus b3 plus b3 into gm equal to 0. So let us divide in both the side with 1 by gi b2 b3. So here you will get 1 by b2 plus 1 by b3 plus b3 will cancel, so we have gm by b2 gi equal to 0. So this is our second expression. As we have taken the susceptance as b1, b2, b3, we can take reactance as 1 by b1, 1 by b2 and 1 by b3. So let us assume that reactance is x1, which is 1 by b1, x2 is 1 by b2 and x3 is 1 by b3. So first equation can be written as x1 plus x2 plus x3 equal to 0. So let us say this is equation 3. And then we have the second equation, which can be written as x2 plus x3 plus x2 into gm by gi equal to 0. This x2 plus x3 will be equal to minus x1. So in place of x2 plus x3 we can write minus x1. So this is minus x1 plus x2 gm by gi equal to 0. So we have a relation between x1 and x2, and we can write x1 equal to x2 into gm by gi, or x1 by x2 equal to gm by gi. As we know that gm and gi both are positive, both values are positive, and hence we can infer that x1 and x2 both will have the same sign. So x1 and x2 will have same sign, means either both will be positive or both will be negative. And if x1 and x2 have same sign, then x3 will be of opposite sign. So x3 will be of opposite sign. So if x1 and x2 is positive, x3 will be negative. If x1 and x2 is negative, x3 will be positive. Now let us assume the second case. So if x1 and x2 both are negative and x3 is positive, this is possible only if these two elements are capacitive, then only it will give negative reactance, and this element will be inductive. So let us write the reactance of a capacitor. x1 is given by minus 1 by omega naught C1. So x2 will be equal to minus 1 by omega naught C2, and x3, which must be positive. So for positive reactance we have to have inductive nature. So for that we can write omega naught L3. So by taking the relation x1 plus x2 plus x3 equal to 0, we can find out frequency of oscillation. So minus 1 by omega naught C1 minus 1 by omega naught C2 plus omega naught L3 equal to 0. So this will be omega naught L3 equal to 1 by omega naught 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. So omega naught square equal to 1 by L3 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. Omega naught equal to under root 1 by L3 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. And the condition for oscillation can be determined from the second condition, which was x1 by x2 equal to Gm by Gi, C2 by C1 equal to Gm by Gi. This oscillator is known as Colpitz's oscillator. Similarly, by taking x1 and x2 positive and x3 negative, we can design other type of oscillator. So let us take that x1 and x2 positive and x3 negative. X1 will be equal to omega naught L1, x2 equal to omega naught L2, and x3 equal to minus 1 by omega naught C3. So first, to calculate the frequency of oscillation, we will apply the first condition, x1 plus x2 plus x3 equal to 0. So omega naught L1 plus omega naught L2 minus 1 by omega naught C3 equal to 0. So omega naught L1 plus L2 equal to 1 by omega naught C3, and the frequency of oscillation is omega naught equal to root under 1 by C3 into L1 plus L2. And the condition of oscillation will be x1 divided by x2 equal to Gm by Gi. So L1 by L2 equal to Gm by Gi. This oscillator is known as Hartley oscillator. So in my next video, I am going to explain the common gate configuration of field effect transistor. Thank you.